Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the 3 p.m. news on Canal English. With me, Annette Effeti Essome. We begin with our top stories. City dwellers in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, have been told to be development-oriented. The fight against poliomyelitis intensifies in the west region of Cameroon. UNICEF's representative in Cameroon and UNICEF's new Goodwill ambassador were on the field to encourage parents vaccinate their children. And out of the country, in Nigeria, a young girl has detonated her bomb in front of soldiers at a checkpoint in the northeastern part of the country. We begin with this information where the Social Democratic Front Party has called for the unconditional release of all persons arrested in Anglophone Cameroon during the ongoing social crisis. This is one of the 10-point resolutions arrived at after Saturday's NEC meeting that held in Bamenda, presided at by Chairman Nijan Frundi. The National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Front strongly condemned the current speed of arrest, which they described as kidnapping and adoptions, ferrying suspects to Yaoundé out of their areas of residence for trial under the civil law instead of the common law. The Bamenda NEC conclave equally accused the government of Cameroon of violating international conventions by depriving residents of Anglophone Cameroon of internet connection as a result of her failure to resolve the Anglophone lawyer-teachers problem. Members of the NEC also empowered the chairman to engage in discussions with religious and political as well as opinion leaders in a bid to give the country out of the crisis. Last weekend's meeting was the first after the appointment of Senator Sumolo Zhang as the new Secretary General. And this other information, the far north region of Cameroon was early this morning hit by a double suicide attack, precisely in Dubois in the Mayo Sava. Reports see several people have sustained injuries and are currently receiving medical attention. Pre-selection test for candidates to undertake the B entrance exams in the eastern region of Cameroon is underway. Out of 1,536 candidates who initially enrolled for the examinations. Details of this report with our intern, Banlaf Modest.
This is the overall winner with jersey number 1, who crosses the finish line carrying a bag that weighs 20 kilograms, covering a distance of 20 kilometers. Some candidates crossed the finish line on time, while others completed their task with tears in their eyes. Candidates went through a number of exercises in the pre-selection. Since the day that I deposited my document, my elder brother told me that if I wanted to be a champion and put on the uniform like him, that I would have to work hard and that he will not be there with me. When I went back home, I told him that I will work hard and wear the uniform like him. Initially, there were 1,536 candidates and 922 were finally selected to compete after they have gone through a series of medical checkups. All this under the supervision of military services and the governor of the East region. There is a panel that supervises the recruitment to ensure transparency. We also control the registration forms and the receipt of the candidates to ensure that they are all valid. Every candidate receives a bracelet. All candidates undertake fingerprint tests, and we also take their passport-size photographs. Before and after the race, we wear the bags to ensure it has the normal weight before and after the race. After this first phase of the competition, they will undertake a 10-kilometer sport walk before the last medical checkup that will enable those taking part in the competition to be selected.
Douala city dwellers are henceforth expected to take part in development initiatives. This is the essence of our forum, Baptized City Dialogue, currently holding in Douala. Participants are currently carving strategies to improve on community actions and promote dialogue. Amber Gladys.
Talks between local councils and stakeholders will henceforth intensify to prevent initiatives that could hamper harmonious developments. Reason why these officials, stakeholders and some Douala city dwellers are meeting to discuss community development, strategies to be implemented and tools to promote dialogue. The importance of citizen dialogue is a permanent exigency, especially for a cosmopolitan town like Douala, where the population is heterogeneous in its thoughts. This initiative of the Douala City Council is aimed at improving the standard of living of the population and promote coexistence with the experiences of Bamako and Dakar expected. The town of Bamako is partner to this activity. This is the reason why we are taking part in the forum. I want you to know that with the experience of Dakar, we have been inspired. I think the initiative needs to be supported. Dakar has been a town which was inspired by others and which understood early that it needed an inclusive participating management through citizen dialogue. Discussions at the Forum for Citizen Dialogue that would last for 3 days will permit participants understand how citizen participation for development works and it should be for the town of Douala.
Motorbike riders in the city of Douala have been instructed to each obtain a Category A driving license. A pre-driving test to this effect mobilized several motorbike riders in the town as they take part in this exercise. Crystal Katala tells us more.
Obtaining the Category A driving license is henceforth compulsory for motorbike riders. The document will permit to differentiate those who operate legally and illegally in the sector. The difference lies in the aspect that one person operates legally and the other illegally. So when you accept to follow the rules and regulations, it means you're a motorbike rider. You have your particulars. In a bid to obtain this Category A driving license, members of the syndicates of motorbike riders gathered at their special training center for a pre-driving test. These children you see have been following lessons for close to 1 month now. We will have to proceed to an evaluation to see if they have mastered highway code and to also see if in terms of moral and education things have changed. The training session permitted many bike riders to master highway codes. There are some things I used to ignore, but I had the opportunity to receive them thanks to the training. While waiting for the official examination that will grant them their driving license, motorbike riders will go for another pre-driving test on the 8th of February.
The fight against poliomyelitis intensifies in the West region of Cameroon. UNICEF's ambassador in Cameroon and UNICEF's Goodwill ambassador Emmanuel Chacho, who equally doubles as the CEO of Canal International, were recently on the field precisely in Banjul and Bayangam to reinforce, mobilize and sensitize the local people on the need to vaccinate their children. Beatrice Gamo reports.
Emmanuel Chachwe, the new UNICEF Goodwill ambassador, was on the field to certain the effectiveness of vaccination against poliomyelitis. This 28th to 29th January 2017, the chairman, managing director of Canal International, was on a door-to-door campaign as UNICEF's Goodwill ambassador at Banjul and Bayangam, West region of Cameroon. His engagement by the side of the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF.
Pour ceux qui étaient sur le terrain avec moi,
for those who were on the field with me, You saw children moving on foot, and I was exactly like them. And these children need to be like me tomorrow. And to make sure authorities in place assure the rights of each child to health and education, UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, who accompanied the resident representative to Cameroon, Félicité Chibinda, discussed with the governor of the West Region, our Fonka Augustine, on this just cause. If I engage in this cause, it is because I want the child in Ube to be like that of Bonapriso, want a child in Mokolo to be like that of Bastos. Why I took the engagement, because when it rains on all, same too with sun for all. The field trip, rich with significance because it was in the West Region that the last case of the white polio virus was discovered. If Cameroon since 2015 have not had any new case, prevention through local vaccination days unfolds normally with themes on the field.
At the beginning, for instance, for the social mobilizer, we had only 7,000 for the whole country, and it was really big for one team to cover what they are supposed to cover. So we increased the number of social mobilizer. For nationwide, it's more than 40,000, so that we reduce a bit the load of what they are supposed to do.
Objective of this collaboration between the new UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, Emmanuel Chachwe, and UNICEF is to reinforce mobilization, sensitization of the local population, and opinion leaders on vaccination against poliomyelitis.
Health officials of the Ngaoundéré Regional Hospital have saved the life of a newborn baby who was abandoned by the mother. This child was picked from the dustbin by a policeman, as we hear in this report.
This unidentified newborn baby, lying in this incubator at the Ngaoundéré Regional Hospital, was abandoned by his parents. He was discovered by a policeman in a deplorable state in the Dan neighborhood in Ngaoundéré 3 subdivision. The baby has a wound at the level of his umbilical cord. It shows that the delivery was assisted by medical personnel in a health structure in the town. The policeman has left, but we have identified him. It was at about 7 p.m. I think our research should be directed towards the policeman who says the wife wanted to adopt the baby. Midwives of the neonatal department, where the baby received treatment, say the infant's life is out of danger. The baby arrived here, highly rehydrated him, and we have used medication from the emergency box. We did that to save the baby's life. We can assure you that the life of this 7-day-old baby is out of danger. Investigations have been opened to track down the parents and understand the circumstances surrounding the inhuman act.
Some survivors of the Ezeka train accident that occurred on the 21st of October who are presently living in Betua, East Region of Cameroon, have praised God for his protection. The recently organized a Thanksgiving service to show gratitude to the Lord Almighty, as we hear in this report.
Pastor Osembong and John Metsulu Satege are two survivors of the October 21, 2016 Ezeka train catastrophe, which left hundreds of people dead. They are at the Emmanuel Parish of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, in Betua, in the East Region, to give thanks to God for saving them from the accident. I thank God for saving my life. He permitted me to see the new year, despite what I experienced. I also want to thank him for the lives of other survivors. I extend my condolences to the families of those who lost their loved ones. I pray God gives us long life.
Nous sommes sortis.
If we survive this accident, it is not by our might. God did it. We send our sincere condolences to those who lost their loved ones and to those still in search of their family members. We pray God listens to their prayers and give them the strength to withstand the challenge.
Qui ont été durement et endeuillées,
et
les familles qui sont encore à la recherche de leurs proches jusqu'à ce jour.
Saturday magnify God's greatness, who is always present to save those who trust in Him.
Compte tenu de
We have organized this service because we want to glorify God. It would have been regrettable if our sons, Metsulu John and Pastor Osembo, would have passed on in the accident. This service is also meant to give a boost to victims' families.
Mais aussi pour les familles qui ont été victimes.
The Thanksgiving ceremony was attended by Christians and sympathizers who came in from Yaoundé, Douala and Abongbang to listen to the testimonies of the survivors. The choir thrilled the Christians with songs of praise.
We now move out of the country where a girl about 10 years old has blown up herself in the northeastern part of Nigeria, precisely in Bamki in the Borno state, when she was stopped by soldiers. In a separate suicide bombing in the city of Maiduguri, one person is reported dead. In Nigeria, Boko Haram now uses young girls and children as suicide bombers to target crowded places. Donald Trump has fired the acting U.S. Attorney General after she questioned the legality of his immigration ban. Sally Yates, who had been appointed under the Obama regime, earlier ordered Justice Department lawyers not to enforce the president's executive order. Bana Bonte, U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, replaces her as acting Attorney General. He has directed the department to enforce Mr. Trump's order. In a statement, the White House said Mrs. Yates had betrayed the Department of Justice. It is here we round it off for this 3 p.m. news on Canal the English. Thanks for watching.